Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Kingdom of Andalia for all our civil war, where at the end of that last episode we had that tragic moment where King Titus of the Crone's Crossing killed his half-sister Queen Kyra Sevenstar, and we still have the battle raging on down here now where 11,000 Sevenstar loyalists are fighting against less than 2,000 of the Erenstar host, but somehow they seem to be turning it round, which is absolutely terrifying. I don't know how they're doing it. Donald Crownless really is one hell of a commander. Very terrifying. But yes, we had that introduction POV there from Titus's perspective of the battle and that fight that obviously occurred between him and his sister. So yes, now we are Queen Jonquil of Andalia, the 6-year-old daughter of Kyra Sevenstar. Her heir is our sister Princess Lyanna of Andalia, so another queen if she does die. Benfrey has obviously declared for Andalia now rather than for his brother Titus, so we will do a few things with the council. Our Hand of the King we are going to change because Lord Stefan Rothart, the 60-year-old Lord of the White Star, is our regent. So if we go for a new Master of Laws, who have we got? We've not really got anyone that good, so if we just resign him, which is going to upset him, but I'm going to appoint him as the Hand of the King now. It's annoying that you can't change them without upsetting them, because basically we've just given you a promotion, Benfrey, but that's upset people and you, which is annoying. And now we need a new Master of Laws, which we could just go for Stefan Rothart, to be honest. He could be Regent and Master of Laws. That is perfectly fine. Colmore Bloom will remain as Master at Arms. These are all loyalists, as we know. We've got Lord Roland the Gallant of House Royce as our Master of Coin. Do we have someone better? Oh wow, yes, Daynes Corbury is very, very impressive. It's going to upset a few people that we've removed Lord Royce, but Corbury is a hell of a lot better, so we'll get him to collect taxes. Colmore Bloom, can we get you to just train the troops? We may need some more troops at this rate. Master of Whispers is, of course, Enger Firehand still. We don't have a Maester. Why are you currently not our Maester? You should be. Serve the court. And our Septon is the same. That's fine. Obviously, as we are a 6-year-old and we're under Regency, as we like to roleplay, we're now going to obviously play using our troops and try and do things how we think our Regent and Benfrey would do those. So we're going to try and roleplay as our council. So we do need you to be doing something, Lord Stefan. Let's have a look at Evil's opinions of us. We could send you to improve some diplomatic opinions. Well, most of our loyalists are still very much on site, apart from Titus, as we can see. But most of the loyalists still seem to be pretty okay. Let's take you to improve diplomatic relations with Benfrey, because I think that's going to be pretty important. We need to improve the relation of him, considering he doesn't like us because we removed him as Master of Laws, which is really annoying, because, like I said, we've given him a promotion, so that is very annoying. All our other... Oh, no, we need an advisor. We will go for... Yes, Moribald Rack, of course. Another loyalist. Right, so the battle is raging on down here. We've got our 14,000 troops up north, which has completely destroyed most of the northern host now. There's still a couple of little straggler armies around of a couple of hundred men and such. I'm sure they will probably end up banding back together to create an army of a couple of thousand, but that shouldn't be too much trouble. So we are going to march our army down south to Crossing, and we can try and get that under siege. We've got the 11,000 men here. Let's see. Wow, there's 8,000 people sieging Ghoultown, which is rather annoying. Let's call up any bannermen that we can in the Vale. We should be able to call up some more bannermen now. Yes, we can. Perfect. We've got not a huge amount, but it's a decent amount. If we get those to meet up in Heartsholme, and then we can try and push out Lady Snowfall, who is currently invading the Vale, and then after that we can try and join those forces to help out in taking the Crossing. We should be able to win this war, hopefully. Titus is at minus... We are at minus 45%, which is worrying, but we've got the manpower. We've done some good damage now. Yes, he's killed the Queen, but we've managed to completely, kill most of his army, so hopefully we'll be okay. So let's unpause. Let's return to the battle in Oldstones, where Donald Crownless is holding out against Sir Stefan Rothart at present. Sir Will the Brave has now broken, unfortunately. Obviously, Kyra is dead. Yesterday's losses on this flank. So let's continue this battle. We outnumber them 10-1 almost. Well... we outnumber them a lot. We should be okay. Let's finish this battle. May you live in harmony and contentment. I've been hunted your region. Yes, that's fine. Your mother, Queen Kyra Sevenstar, has died, and now it falls to you to decide whether to make the funeral a big and special event or just keep it as a small private one. My mother deserves to be honoured with a funeral, of course. Who will you invite to the funeral? All the lords and ladies of the realm. My vassals and court shall honour the family at the funeral. Who will be coming to that? That's a lot of people. That's most of the people. Or do we invite the whole realm or just those? How much would that cost us? Well, all the ladies and lords of the realm are invited. Why not? It costs us a bit of money, but it will give us some much needed prestige, which we do need now. We've lost all of Kyra's prestige, and we've still got a good amount of wealth, which is fine. All hail her grace, Jonquil of the House Sevenstar, the first of her name, Queen of the Mountain and Vale, Lord of the Seventh Port, Guardian of the Bloody Gate, and Protector of the Realm. All hail the Queen of the Vale. And it looks like we're actually somehow going to lose this battle. My God, Darnold Crownless, you are impressive. Yes, Stefan Rosehart has been broken. Peace with you. I gladly accept the guardianship contract between Sir Will and Jonas Bloom. Okay. I've also found a new guardian for Joe Arad, because obviously he was nearly finished his wardship under Queen Kyra, and he's very impressive. So we've now sent him to Sir Stefan Rosehart to finish his education. He's turning into a very, as I said in that last POV, a very honourable person. He's now a skilled fighter, which is awesome. I said that his fighting ability wasn't that great, but that's because he was a trained fighter, but now he's a skilled fighter, so that's awesome. He's quick, humble, wrath, so that's probably about one of his only bad ones, but that does give him more martial, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Just content, kind, honourable, diligent, and trusting. So a really impressive, really, really honourable character. So I'm looking forward to when he ages up a little bit. And yeah, we are actually going to lose this battle. We've been pushed back by 2,000 men led by Darnold Crownless. My prisoner Marwyn is complaining about his dark cell. He is a Vale man. We'll let him rot for now. Lord Harbert Snow has issued a call to all his subjects promising glory and wealth to anyone who can master a dragon in his lands. No doubt he feels he needs dragon riders to fight in the war. What? Dragons? What? Okay, so there's a dragon in Wickerden apparently. That's really annoying. We've got another prisoner, Wallace. Nothing important. We'll let him rot as well. We'll sort out all our prisoners once the war is over. Bless my you and your house. I gladly accept the guardianship contract between Lady Ellen and Harbert Josso. Yes, that's your son anyway, but he's good in diplomacy. Oh, and it looks like we've been sent another terms of surrender from Titus. You can get fucked, Titus. There is no turning back for you now, my friend. You have killed your sister and brother. You've killed your queen. There's no turning back. The invitations have been sent to the lords and ladies of the realm to come to the funeral. It's time to prepare the feast and the funeral itself. The guests will arrive soon. Right, so our 15,000 men are retreating. He's still got 9,800 men, so most of them did break, but there are still some there. Your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I gladly accept the guardianship contract between Lord Enger and Wilbert. So Wilbert Richards, heir to the Lordship of the Father's Field, with his very good diplomacy and intrigue, we have sent to Enger the Evil. I just did a few guardianships for the young and promising heirs and such around the realm to make sure that they do get a good education. Our Vale forces are still gathering. It's annoying that this raiding party is in Gultown, because I'm sure we'd be able to get a decent army from Gultown, but never mind. Our other army is marching south, which is good. Titus sat alone in his tent, brooding. It had been 2 days since their great victory in the Battle of Old Stones, where he had killed his sister and former Queen Kyra in single combat. Unlike in his thoughts and dreams, there was no joy for him. He remembered it all in infinite detail, every move of the both of them, the fear in her eyes, the smell and sound of the field of battle, everything. But there was no joy for Titus, just a great blackout of emptiness. Why could he gain no satisfaction from her death? He could hear his men in camp celebrating and praising Lord Crownless for godlike victory on the field. He even heard some men talking about how King Titus made Kyra beg for her life before killing her. It was a lie, and it bothered him that these men were disrespecting his sister, who had died so bravely. He charged out of his tent, straight for one of the men, telling a story about how Titus executed Kyra while she begged and cried at her knees. He pulled the sword out of a nearby guard's scabbard and walked towards the men, drunkenly insulting the former queen. He was full of rage. He grabbed the lying man and spun him around. He looked into the shocked man's face and smiled, grabbing him by the shoulder and slowly pushing the blade into his stomach. The man cried out in agony. Titus tightened his grip, his smile growing as he thrust the sword deeper into him.
My sister died bravely. She did not cower nor even cry out in pain when I cut her hand off. You, sir, are the worst sort of liar, and deserve to die for it."
With that, he pushed the blade all the way to its hilt. The man's mouth opened wide, though no more noise left it. He sank to his knees, 3 foot of sword protruding from his back. Titus squatted down to look the dying man in his eyes, which were full of fear and confusion.
"I did not love my sister, but I despise liars. Kyra was no coward, and I'll kill any man that says different."
Lord Crownless approached as Titus watched the man slowly bleed to death.
"Your Grace, we need to send terms to Sevensport. You must follow up on your victory here before they can reform. With our losses from the last battle, we cannot survive another attack. Lord Rack, Firehand and your brother ride south, leading a host 15,000 strong, and Lord Roseheart and Sir Will are regrouping to the south."
Titus stood up now that the man had finally died.
"Very well. Send a raven to Sevensport. Tell them to bend the knee or I'll burn the city to the ground and kill everyone inside."
He then turned and walked away from the encampment and into the godswood of the ancient castle of House Mud. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what foodstuff to serve. I must purchase venison, boar, duck and spices, wine and ale, honey for the desserts, cheese, and perhaps even a swan or a peacock. We'll spend lavishly on food. We want to show how much power and wealth House Sevenstar has to try and make sure that people don't start swaying to the usurper. We want to try and keep everyone on side, so we want to flaunt that power that we do have. Hopefully these Vale Lords hurry up and gather, because we need to expel Lady Snowfall from the Vale. Your Grace Queen Jonquil, the Grandlands is under attack from the Westerlands and is in need of aid. We implore you to join our coalition against our common enemy, so that our mutual interest will remain protected. Lord Paramount Bed of the Grandlands. Well, why are you not under the Stormlands at present? You should be. Because you're in a war at present to take the Bay of Crabs. No, I'm not getting involved. That'd be interesting if the Westlands take the Grandlands, because then they could probably conquer most of the Stormlands. That would be worrying if the Westlands took all of the south. That would be something to watch out for, but obviously at present we cannot afford to get involved in outside wars. We've got too much going on at home at present. 900 coin already, so our money's improving massively every second as usual. Byrar Erenstar is currently under my control, and his relative Lord Titus Snow is currently opposing us. We can rightfully execute or imprison him as a warning to our enemies. Hair lips strong. Wow, he's pretty impressive for a 9-year-old. We're his educator, which is ridiculous. He's betrothed to Elena Umber. We'll imprison him. We're not going to kill him. I thought we already had him imprisoned. Yes, because he's in... Yeah, that's fine. We already did have him imprisoned. Can we give him a better guardian so we can try and change him? Maybe what's he best in? Marshal. If we can try and change him more our way. Let's have a look who we've got marshal-wise. Sir Will. Yeah, Sir Will. You look after him and make sure we keep him in line. I'm out playing by myself and taking a break to eat some bread I brought from the kitchens. I suddenly notice a young peasant child staring at me. She looks hungry. I'll share my bread with her. I'll leave before she tries to steal from me. Elena Flowers. Eldred of Stonekeep, heir to Stonekeep. He's not a peasant then, is he? But yeah, I'll share my bread with him. Why not? We gain the trait affectionate. You shared your bread with the peasant child, and then you played together for several hours before parting ways. She waved happily as she ran home. This was fun. Gained 30 piety. Good, we do need to get some piety and prestige. Right, we can now march back onto Marlon Bay with our 15,000 men. Let's get back in our own lands. We're at minus 60% almost. We need to get our men south quickly so that we can attack Titus and start getting him on the back foot. I don't really care about dragons. Don't bother me with this again, as we've said millions of times. Where's that Reed army marching to? At least we could hopefully crush that Reed army. Why is no one currently leading this army? Is it because they broke? We want... Where's Lord... he's busy at present, isn't he? All of the guests have arrived at Sevensport. It is now time to start feasting. Right, we need to... Can I not? I won't be able to cancel it for now. Yes, I can. This cancer is currently forbidden. No, we want you to lead armies, but we can't get you to lead armies at present. We'll have Sir Will, Silvermoon in charge of this with Sir Warren, and then the others are marching south at present anyway, so we'll be able to make use of those soon. There's council. The council is in discontent, which is very annoying. They're meant to all be loyalists. Okay, we're slowly marching south. That's fine. We'll forward along so we can get our armies together quickly and get further down south. We're about to attack this small Reed army here, which is perfect. Lady Jonquil Brightstone has used her attendance at the feast in Sevenstar to present a petition for justice before the court. She claims that Lord Enger Firehand made an attempt on her life and demands he is brought to justice for the attempted murder. Well, he's a loyalist, so the council are going to let him get away with it for now. We can't afford to lose one of our most loyal subjects at present, and we've not seen anything about it, so... Right, yeah, let's crush that Reed force. And then we need to wait for the other host to make its way south so we can trap this Erenstar host with 30,000 men. There's no way even Sir Donald Crownless can hold that off, surely. The funeral. As the Silent Sisters finish the preparations of the deceased, the body of Queen Kyra is brought to the local sept and laid atop the altar at its centre. Canopic jars of ornate design are placed at the feet of the dead, and the eldest child places the death stones upon the closed eyes of the deceased. One by one, those closest to the departed in life make their way into the sept and speak their goodbyes, shed their mournful tears, and pray to the Seven for the dead. As the day winds down and the last goodbye is said, the body is carried by kin along the crowd-lined streets to its final resting place. As the sun fades away, a great feast is held, and those who knew the dead recount stories of the life and deeds of the lost. And so it is done. We gain 40 piety, which is perfect. We gain a bit of prestige by the looks of it as well. We've obviously crushed that Reed army, as we knew we would. We lost one man, so they're 640. It's good, at least they didn't manage to reinforce. Your prisoner Marwyn has requested an audience with you. Upon meeting him before the court, you hear he's offering to pay the ransom for his release. I accept your offer. We could do with the gold. It's always useful. I don't think we can... Oh, we can march on Seaguard without actually bumping into them. That's good. Do you know what? Let's... No, we'll wait where we are. We'll wait for the other army to come south. It's almost here. It's in Sevensguard now, so they're not a world away. Still waiting for our Vale army to get together. And our prisoner Wallace is also offering to pay his ransom. Yes, we accept. You're not anyone of huge importance, so that is fine. When are these raiders going to clear off? Right, so we've got 4,700 men here. That's perfect. Let's march those and go and take care of Lady Snowfall. Just waiting for the Northern Army to find its way south. Travellers bring rumours of fire and blood. They say that the dragons live once more. But dragons never died. Is that a... Okay, whatever. Don't bother me with such news again. I'm not interested in the dragons, as we're constantly saying. Right, so yeah, they're gathering up. We're going to have about 6,000 here. We'll take care of Lady Snowfall's army and end that war. We're probably going to need some ships, actually, aren't we? So let's call up our Heartsholme fleet, our Runestone fleet, which is tiny, our Hunter fleet. We'll just call up a couple of our Vale fleets, and we'll send those round to the Coldwater lands, just so we can then sail over to the Sisters afterwards and bring down Lady Snowfall. There's also 9 ships there. That's perfect. That's more than enough fleets. I don't dare attack that army without our other host. It's scary how worried I am now, because Donald Crownless is a machine. I'm actually scared of facing off against him. But we do need to get down south quickly. I don't think we had any other northern armies that we could call upon. No, it was literally just a couple of Vale forces that we've managed to call upon. While we wait for those to march south, let's go for a mid POV, and we're going to go to Lord Benfrey Highstar as he marches south to face his brother and former best friend.
Benfrey sat alone in his tent. The army had moved at an incredible pace from the Strangers' Hills to the lower crossing lands, where they were now encamped a day's ride from his brother's army outside of Oldstones. He overlooked the maps of the southern Andalia and the lands surrounding the mud castle in which the battle would take place. Over and over the scenes of battle played through his mind, the possible outcomes, the things that could go wrong or lead to victory. He pinched the bridge of his nose and closed his eyes. He hadn't slept the entire night, and the dull ache in his head was evidence of this. His troops had been harassed by small attacks all the way through the neck, courtesy of the Crannog men. Both Lord Rack and Firehand had expressed similar concerns, along with a small spat of attempted desertions which had been swiftly dealt with to prevent further actions in that vein. "Brother, are you there?" That voice. "Pia, yes, I'm here. Come in. Is there something wrong?" Pia peeked her head inside. Benfrey could see a rare look of nervousness. "It's the other lords. They wish to have a word with you." Benfrey's thoughts turned to the day they received word of his sister's death. Nigh, slaughter, at the hands of Titus not so long ago. He had barely managed to keep the army together amidst the panic and calls for vengeance. Benfrey knew that his brother had a ruthless streak, but to hear about what he had done... The Lord of the Eyrie shook his head. No, there would be no room left for mercy now. Titus was a thrice over kinslayer, an affront to the gods old and new. He must be brought to justice for his actions. Bring them in, Pia. It's time we discuss how to put an end to this false king. Lords Rack, Firehand and Greystark entered the tent. We have 15,000 men that will be almost doubled once Lord Stefan and Sir Will come north to add their strength to our own. We are ready to put down this rebellion once and for all, Lord Firehand offered. Benfrey nodded and spoke with a calm certainty. We want to be quick about this, and make no mistake, I intend to make a bloody mess of Titus's host. My beloved sister deserves no less than to have him and his traitorous followers dragged into Sevensport in chains for trial. I intend to see that this is done. Now was time to inform his commanders on his plans. Lord Morribold, I am giving you command of the centre and the vast majority of our host. No doubt my brother will once again give command of the middle to Lord Crownless. The old man is an exceptional strategist, but you faced worse and survived against the legendary Hammer of Eastwatch. Titus himself will lead the van if I know my brother. He will want to be the first into battle and try to break us early. At that moment, Lord Firehand broke in. My lord, I beg of you, give me the honour of leading our own vanguard, and I promise I will bring back the traitor's bastard head upon a spike for our fair young queen. Benfrey could not fault Enger's bravery, but the Lord of Barrington had gained a large amount of weight over the last few years. Adding to his advancing years, he would be no match for Titus's strength and ferocity. I thank you, Lord Firehand, for your bravery and loyalty, as I'm sure my young niece will also. Although I myself must face my brother, I must do it for Kyra and for Ambrose. I require you and our cavalry to harass their rearguard led by Sir Garibold Rook. The fat lord's eyes lit up at the mention of this. Benfrey had no doubt it was excitement at the prospect of fighting the first man. Now, my lords, let us sleep, for on the morrow we march to victory for Queen Jonquil and all of Andalia.
Okay guys, so we've got to see a little bit inside of Benfrey again, one of the most honourable and probably the nicest guy we've ever had in Andalia. And we also had a battle in Coldwater Burn where we crushed most of the Snowfall armour, which is perfect. How many fleets do we have here? 38, so not enough for what we want to do. Can we call up any other fleets? We have got the Ghoultown fleet, well, we can't call upon that on present. Let's call upon the 7-star fleet, which is 53 ships, which will be more than enough to sail our way over to the Sisters and bring down Lady Snowfall. Perfect, here we go. Right, we'll lift the siege on Seaguard after. Let's march our two armies to sandwich this army in the middle. We will follow the army because we want to keep an eye on it. Hopefully Titus doesn't kill Benfrey as well. That would be absolutely devastating for him to kill another brother, especially one of his friends. Harbert's still alive out there somewhere as well, so we've got to bring him to justice in the future. And here we go. We are about to arrive at this battle. Here we go. So Benfrey is leading the centre, Enger and Morribold leading the flanks. The reinforcements will soon arrive. News from the Battle of Oldstones, Your Grace. Your bodyguard, Sir Will Silvermoon, has been slain. He was killed in direct single combat by the enemy commander, Lord Titus Snow. Damn it. He is an absolute machine. So he was one-eyed, so he had his eye out just like with his brother. Rest in peace, Sir Will Silvermoon. Okay. Your acquaintance, Lord Belgrave Rook, has returned from the Battle of Oldstones alive, has suffered a very gruesome and horrific injury. He is now one-legged, and who did that to him? Enger the Evil has cut his leg off then, which is awesome. So he won't be causing us any more trouble. Well played, Enger. Oh, I can't believe that Sir Will Silvermoon has been killed by Titus. Titus is just killing everyone, but we are absolutely crushing his host now, which is fantastic. Surely Donald Crownless cannot pull this out of the bag. We do need a new commander now that Sir Will has died. Let's have a look who we've got. We've got... Yes, let's go for Daynes Corbett. Oh, Ambrose, Sir of Owenshold. He's pretty decent for a 16-year-old, unyielding, skilled commander. Only a poor fighter, but unyielding. We've seen how effective unyielding can be. We'll go for Daynes Corbett, but... we may be able to replace one of the others with the other guy afterwards. We'll leave it for now. But Owen, was it Ambrose? I can't remember what his name was now, but that 7-star that we just seen. Yeah, and look at Donald Crownless is still standing strong. Enemy commander slain in the chaos surrounding the Battle of Oldstones. My men cornered Lodus, who was cut down with ease. The symbols of high rank on his uniform apparently went unnoticed until the soldiers stumbled upon his corpse. An old Ironborn, good riddance. Who was it who killed him? Looks like it was Enger the Evil. Again, Yes, it was. Well played. Enger the Evil's been a bit of a beast in this battle. For someone who's actually not that good commanding-wise. Battle of Old Stones, there we go. A great victory. We lost 1,000 men, but Titus lost half of his army, which is perfect. Great news. Right, so now we will lead the army led by Benfrey on to Seaguard. We'll lead the other 13,000 on to Gravesend. Let's start lifting these sieges now. Our fleet by now should have arrived, and the North are getting invaded again. Yeah, our fleet should by now have arrived in Coldwater Burn, which is perfect. We've got an army here. Let's get these led by Daynes Corp. Why is Daynes Corp? He's too busy doing stuff. Never mind. Right, we'll get on the ships. We've got 91 ships here. Let's sail over to the sisters. We'll come back for the other. Actually, no. These 1,400 men can take care of what remains of the Snowfall army in our lands. We're now at minus 38 with Titus, so we are going to be able to bring it back. We need a new Sworn Shield as well now that we've lost Sir Will. That is a huge loss, that is. Who's going to be our new bodyguard? We've got Alice Coldwater. Poor fighter, but she's strong. Family person, Gregorous, ambitious, sloth. Sir Warren, 61 though. But yeah, we'll go for Sir Warren as our new bodyguard. Have some loyal old men around Jonquil to make sure she stays protected. Fleet is going to make its way out, which is perfect. Robert Lingrave died, bedridden, whoever he is. I'm not even sure I know who he is, but never mind. It's probably going to take a lot of sieging to bring Titus down, which is going to be a pain. But once we get all of his lands under siege, we should be okay. Right, let's dock these men in Little Sister and bring an end to Lady Snowfall, and then we can bring these fleet of men over to the crossing lands and finally bring Titus down. Right, so how well defended is Seaguard? 1,000 defenders. We'll siege that down, that's fine. I don't want to split our army up too much just because there is the threat of Darnell Crownless, so we do obviously need to be careful of. Oh, Gravesend's actually not under siege by him, which is interesting. Okay. Let's get Moribald Rack to lead this second army, actually, so we can split our decent commanders up, and we'll march on to Rushmore. Is Rushmore actually under siege? Let's go find out. And, okay, where's that redstone? The army of Lord Harbert of Wickerden is actually being led by him, is in a shattered retreat. Okay, so the army must have split up. New Lord Commander on the wall. Who is he? He's of House Tenderin. No idea who they are, but fair enough. And here we go. We now have Sweet Sister under siege, Little Sister, sorry, under siege, and it's very poorly defended, so it's going to be a very, very easy siege for us. Let's try and chase down Lady Snowfall's host, which are marching currently through Crow's Barren. And there's a Riswell army that has appeared, 1,000 men, and the Dreadful army is also with it. That's fine. We're soon going to have our army back from Little Sister as well, which will be enough reinforcements, hopefully, to bring him down. Lord Gunser the Victorious accepted Storm King Boris of the Stormlands peace offer. Okay, so that means that they've took the Bay of Crabs now, doesn't it? The Stormlander, the Bay of Crabs de jour, Warrior of the Bay of Crabs has ended. Storm King Boris of the Stormlands has won. My god, they've took a lot of lands, but the Westerlands have taken the Grandlands, which is interesting. That splits the Stormland Kingdom in half in between the Westerlands, which surely those two are now going to come into conflict at some point, which is good for us. It's good that those two will be fighting each other. It gives us a chance to be safe while all this is going on, because the last thing we want is to be invaded by one of those southern kingdoms. I'm not sure if Rushmore has actually been under siege by by Titus or not. Travellers bring word of fire and blood. I don't care about the freaking dragons. Right, can we assault now? Yes, we can. Let's attempt an assault. Siege of Moortown and the Siege of Havany. Perfect. Lady Snowfall has been brought down. Offer peace. Enforced demands. Yes. The War of the Sisters' Independence has ended. Queen Jonquil of Andalia has won. Lady Melara of the Sisters, okay, is now imprisoned, which is good. Can't do anything else with her at present. Right, let's get our army back on. Well, it'd be quicker actually if we just bring the ships to you and pick you up, and then we'll bring you over. The war has been won and the rebels' armies have been crushed by our brave loyalists. Lady Melara Snowfall, one of the traitors, has been brought before you to hear your judgment. Let her bend the knee. We gain patient. No, we will send her to the dungeon as deserved. Let's embark our army on this fleet. Let's sail over here. And we'll drop those in Crow's Barren to meet with this other host, giving us another strong army, which is perfect. Yeah, Rushmore isn't under siege either. That's fine. We'll march on to the Cape of Eagles then, and we can march around, chase down that army. My prisoner, Lady Melara Snowfall, is complaining about her dark cell in the dungeon, and is asking for more suitable accommodation that would befit her rank. I don't think so, love. You deserve to be punished. In fact, we probably can't call you for trial or anything just yet, can we? We'll wait for now. I'd like to get Titus under our control as well and deal with all the traitors at once. We've still got 12,000 men in Seaguard. That's good. Our ships have arrived. Let's dock that army. Go away. I don't care about dragons. Let's dock the army in Crow's Baron. Boris Durandon has transferred the vassal contract of Emendari. Okay, doesn't really affect us. There's 1,500 Riswell men there, which is interesting. Have the North lost their war against the Ironborn yet? Not quite yet. Still going. Some of the Ironborn lands are under siege, though. From the north, I didn't even know that they had a fleet, but it's 34% in favour of the Ironborn anyway. Bad supply limit here. There we go. How well defended is Cape of Eagles? Only 400 defenders. Perfect. We'll go straight for the assault. Let's lift the siege on the Redguard lands. Perfect. Money continues to flow through the trade port in Sevensport, but your relationship with the Rourke family from Lys that owns it has soured. To teach them a lesson without going to war, you've got to arrange for a mob to burn it down. No, I don't think we should go getting into any more trouble at present. Let's march on to Mistlewood and get that under siege. Seaguard should hopefully fall soon. High Chief Ragnar of the Mother's Embrace has declared High Chief Ragnar's invasion of the Neck on Lady Sybil of the Net. Okay, so we've got just little petty civil wars kicking off all throughout the kingdoms as well that we need to be very careful of and keep an eye on. Who do we get leading this army here? We've got no one leading it. We'll just march those into the Northlands, try and get that under siege. It's another host. We'll take this fleet back to Sevensport and disband it. We're not going to need it anymore. We do need to come down here and lift the sieges of Willowwood at some point. It's probably going to be a couple of episodes of cleaning up now and lifting sieges and bringing Titus down. I don't think he's the sort of person who's going to give up easily. I can see him offering another term of surrender or a white peace at some point when he knows that the war is lost. How well defended is Mistlewood? Pretty well defended. Wow. Okay, let's go for Ehrenford. Let's go and try and get his capital. Why not? Queen Jonquil, after listening to the advice of a group of my bannermen led by Lord Colmore Borrell of the Sweet Sister, I hereby relinquish my position as Lady of the Sisters in favour of Rezea Snowfall. Okay, who's that? Is that your sister? Lady Rezea, yes, whose daughter is a Richards, which is interesting, actually. And we can't revoke title from you now, can we? Time to execute though then. Have Melira Snowfall executed. Queen Jonquil changes fear by 5. Yes, do it. Your Grace, Melira Snowfall has been brought from her cell for execution. How shall she be dispatched? She will be beheaded. Perfect. At the age of 27, your prisoner, Melira Snowfall, was beheaded on the orders of Queen Jonquil of Andalia. At the age of 58, your acquaintance Jorah died. Don't know who he is, so that's fine. There we go, that's one traitor down. So now we just need to bring Titus and Harbert down, as well as all the other traitors. Lord Maiden, the Reeds. Ben Grand has died. Come on, Seaguard, can we finally lift this bloody siege? Got 5,000 men in Northlands. How well defended is Northlands? Pretty well defended. Why don't we go and lift the sieges with this smaller host instead then? And then once we take Seaguard, which should be very, very soon, we'll march onto Marlet Bay and crush Titus's army there. Seaguard should fall any second now. Your Septon Garwin of Snow reports that Lord Oscar of Moonsgrey has been humbled by your endless generosity to the poor. That's good. We've got Benfrey leading this army. I'd be devastated if Benfrey dies in battle against Titus. There we go. The siege of Seaguard Castle is won. Let's do the next steps and do a couple of assaults. It's pretty poorly defended, so we want to try and take Seaguard as quickly as possible. Boris Durandon has had Crown Stag removed from their treasury. Okay. Attempt an assault. There we go. Siege of Seaguard. Let's just get Seaguard completely under control, lifting the siege on all the lands in the High Lordship of Seaguard, which is perfect. The Red Wolf army is fighting the Riswell army. Quentin of the Veilman Liberation Revolt has declared liberation of the Mother's Embrace on High Chief Ragnar of the Mother's Embrace. Perfect. That keeps him busy. Keeps House Maiden busy, who do need to be punished. It's a shame that Grennan Maiden is already dead, so we can't punish him. There we go, the Siege of Seaguard. We're now at 3%. At a meeting of your Regency Council, Lord Enger Firehand's position on the council was put under question. Your bannerman, Lord Daynes Corbury, called a vote to have him removed. A vote which See, this is what really annoys me about when you have regencies in games, because he's been on the council for decades, literally decades. The council are all loyalists who all get on, but then this sort of thing just happens constantly, which is really annoying. So now Lord Enger's opinion of Queen Jonquil changes by 15 for 2 years. Well, no, 120 months. That's ridiculous. We didn't even have him fired. So now we need a new Master of Whispers, and we can't employ him. Who do we have? We've got some foreigner, which we don't want to use. He's R'hllor. We have a Fen, Rogar, Master of Andalton. He's not great, though, is he? We'll leave it for now until after the war, because we don't really seem to have a decent spy master. Right. Seaguard has been won. Let's march on to Marlet Bay. Let's try and destroy Titus's host there. How well defended is Erenford? Only 1,000 men, but the supply line here isn't great. 9,000. What about Wickham? Oh, we can lift the siege on Wickham easily. Maybe the supply line in Erenford will improve them because of the neighbouring land. Let's get Murabold Rack back over leading this army with Benfrey. Actually, I think I'd like to have some decent commanders leading that if we're going to be going up against Titus. Siege of Wickham, victory. Your Grace, Queen Jonquil, Kingswood is under attack. I don't care, we're not getting involved. We've got enough of our own problems. Okay, and it looks like Titus's army is retreating, which is good. Let's lift the siege on Wickham. There we go, and one more. Wow, Wickham's got more provinces than I realised. There we go, perfect. Now we can march onto Willowood and lift the siege there. We're pushing back Titus and his forces now, which is great. Ravaho, yeah. Erenford now has a better supply line. Erenford should fall pretty easily, which is awesome. Can we march onto Fairmarket? Come on, we need to chase down Titus's host. He's going to go to Stilfen, isn't he? Which has a very, very good defensive bonus, so we've got to be careful of that. Oh no, now he's marching back round. My goodness, it's a game of cat and mouse. We're going to have to split our army in half, aren't we? Well, we can come and sandwich him. If we trap him up there, that's fine, because then once we take Erenford, we can march back round onto him. Let's lift the siege of Willowwood. And again, these are going to be easy sieges, lifting our land, freeing our bannermen, and we should have one more. Yeah, 43 defenders. Gillam of Gillam, Lingham's host has declared Gillam of Ling. Oh, go away. Stupid Andal invasions. They shouldn't be happening anymore. Fair enough within the kingdom, like we've got the maidens attacking the reed, but the rest of it's just fucking annoying. Perfect. We've lifted the siege on Willowwood, now onto Chiltern, and then onto Saltpans to lift the siege on those last two lands. Where is Titus's army going to? Looks like to the Crossfort, so we'll chase him down. That's fine. Yes, Chiltern should be pretty easy. Erenford is not far off falling either. We've got Sir Warren leading that. Let's get him in the centre. Where are all of our commanders? We've got more troops to call upon. Are those? No, those raiders are still there. I'm going to say that's going to be the Ghoultown host, but we can't really call upon that at present. Wow. That Liberation Revolt is 4,000 strong, so Lord Maiden's fucking screwed, basically. Oh, wow, okay, he's decided to go to Rushmore. Perfect. He has trapped himself. We can now march on to him, hopefully crushing Titus's army. Please don't kill anyone else. Lord Murabold of the Warriors' Way used a favour on Lord Daynes of the Fingers to force them to join all their factions. I didn't even think to check factions. Oh, perfect. Oh, well played, Lord Murabold. He is leading the Crown Loyalists, backed by Lord Colmore and Lord Daynes of the Fingers. The Blooms. You can just guarantee without a doubt, without even having to check in, that the Blooms and Racks will be in that faction. Normally the Rosehearts and Firehands too, but Enger's probably a little bit upset about being removed from the council, unfortunately. We will be putting him back on it the first chance we get. One of your jailers has brought word from the cells. He says your captive, Janessa Bolton, was covertly set free during the night by a small band of men in their desperate escape from the castle. One of them was captured, and after questioning revealed they were in the employ of Lord Belvazar III Bolton. Incompetent full right, so our Bolton prisoner has escaped, which is infuriating. I didn't want to murder children. I don't think Benfrey and Stefan Rosehart and such are the sort of people to do that. Maybe if we had some different people in charge. Let's lift that siege on Chiltern, which is several provinces, so it's going to take a couple of assaults to lift it. We are winning that battle, which is perfect, up in Rushmore as well. We've nearly now lifted all of the sieges as well, which is perfect. It's going to give us a lot of what we've got. I know that Titus is going to try and sue for White Peace at some point. You just know that he's going to do it. Once we get Saltpans, I'm marching on to Wickeden so we can try and capture our other traitorous uncle. Erenford is almost about to fall. We have won that battle, perfect. So now let's lift the siege on Rushmore. Our niece, well, our cousin, I keep forgetting that we're not Kyra now. Our cousin is still imprisoned by Lady Reed, so we do need to try and get her. It looks like her mother's been blinded as well, which is a little bit harsh. Let's lift the siege again. There we go. And let's go and attack this Riswell army. It looks like we may be able to capture the Riswell man as well. Your Grace, I'm pleased to report the successful siege of Erenford. Lord Titus Snow could not be found, however. Yours humbly, Sir Warren. There was no one of value here, that's fine. Let's get the rest under siege. My great aunt Winifred Stark has expressed a desire to get married and has asked for my permission. Who was she married to before? Mance Snow. Marry as you please. She's the mother of Ambrose and Felina. Okay, yes. Who? Poor Ambrose is obviously dead, unfortunately. And something that I didn't realise until I was looking through. Sorry to just pop up now. Is that Lord Benfrey, his half brother, because his mother also married a Stark, of course, is King Harlan of the North. So I thought that was interesting. Could be an interesting alliance if Benfrey can get it. Benfrey's manpower is awesome. Right, yeah, let's carry on getting Erenford under siege. We'll chase down. We'll smash that Riswell army and lift the siege there. And then we'll try and track down Titus' army, which looks like it's marching off down there anyway. We still need to take Cannet. Lord William the Unworthy has declared Duskendale war for Prince Pyrrhus' claim on the rivers and hills. Oh, awesome. So the river and hills could break free as the Dustlands are trying to take it for themselves. And it looks like the Blackwoods are backing them, so that'd be interesting. That'll do a lot of damage to the Stormlands. We need to now lift the siege on Saltpans. Perfect, here we go. We're going to crush that Riswell host, which is going to give us some decent war score. We also need to go and take care of that Glover army as well, which is just to the north. Siege of the Dunfort, defeat. There we go. Oh, wow, 5,000 men, and they do have a small advantage. That's where they've retreated to. That's... We've got double the men. We have Benfrey, Moribold, and Enger. They should be able to win that still, as long as Donald Crownless isn't involved. Hopefully he's not. Can we siege Saltpans yet? Assault? Yes, there we go. Perfect. Lord Harwin of Dalton's Keep has declared Dalton's Keep war for the Storm. King Boris's claim on the Grandlands. Okay. So we've got the Westerlands and the Stormlands now at war with each other. Oh no, perfect. We've managed to win that. Darnell Crownless. Oh no, Darnell Crownless is present. Then again, I think probably after Kyra's death in that war, it would have made the morale of our forces drop massively, seeing your queen die right in front of you against the would-be usurper. It would be like when Rhaegar fell at the Trident against Robert, and then his force just broke. Lord Stefan of Seaguard has made the Lordship of Children his primary title. Why? When it's under another bannerman? Oh, whatever. Stupid game. Stupid AI. A few things that we're probably going to have to sort out. Let's lift the siege of Gravesham here. Perfect. Gravesham is now under our control, so now we can march this army around to the Cape of Eagles, take care of that Glover host, and then we can start sieging the rest of Titus's lands. Should be able to lift the siege on Saltpans very, very soon as well. Perfect, there we go. Now let's march on to Wickerden and bring vengeance. Actually, no. Let's march on to Crabshaw and bring vengeance to Leopold Snow first, who does need to be taken down. And then we'll march on to try and take our brother. So River Run is also helping out in that war for the Dustlands, which is going to be interesting. I would actually like it if House Darkling managed to break free. Would be pretty cool. Is Erenford going to fall yet? Let's attempt an assault. We've got enough manpower there to get victory. We're at 48% now, so we are going to win this war. I cannot wait to get our hands on Titus, who's got a huge kill list now. Died in the Dungeons of Lord Titus, Janae Snow. That was Ambrose Redwolf's wife, so he's also killed his brother's wife. So Will the Brave, Edwell Forrester, Queen Kyra, Joseph Forrester, and then of course as well he killed Ambrose, but somehow managed to get away with not actually getting the kill. I have no idea how. And he's got cramps, which is interesting. Hopefully that will come into play if Benfrey does have to come to dueling him. High Priest Melara has usurped the title of City of Harbuff. That's fine. What's going on in the north? Not a lot. They've got the Father's Ford under siege, and that's about all they can do. The Bullseye's still under siege because they've not got the manpower to lift that siege. As soon as we take Crabshaw and Wickerden, we will go back north. We might not need to actually go back north, but we are going to have Belvazar to deal with. So I've got a feeling we may be able to capture the other traitors, but with Belvazar, he'll probably try and go for independence again. We know how awkward the Boltons are. Belvazar is a very decent lord. We'll see what we have to do with that. Siege of the Eagles Eyrie, okay. Yeah, so Cape of Eagles has fallen. That's fine. We're going to go and lift that siege pretty easily. How well defended is Crabshaw? Wow, very, very well defended. That's fine. We'll just keep sieging it down bit by bit. We might not need to actually get it under siege, but I would like to try and capture Leopold and Harbour under our control. Let's march on to the Cape of Eagles, which will be easily done. And we can destroy that Glover host, get it back under our control, and then we'll march on to Mistlewood and the Crossfort to get those under our control. How far are we sieging Erenford? We need to end this war quickly, if possible. I want to get it over with as quickly as possible because it is costing us a lot of manpower and resources, of course. We'll be able to win that assault, so let's go for it. It's only a small fort level, perfect. And we'll go for one more assault in 3 days' time, 2 days' time, 1 day time. Battle of Eagles Eyrie, perfect. Assault here, and then we should be able to assault in the Cape of Eagles as well and lift the siege. Perfect. Gets up to 52%. Now march on to Mistlewood. Where, oh, okay, so they are marching back. Not perfect. Let's march to Seaguard instead, because that's where the Erenstar army is. Let's go and crush that. Erenford has now fallen onto the Northlands. Get rid of a load of other stuff. At 52%. I don't know if we're going to be able to end the war in this episode. I don't think we will. So I think we'll probably wrap things up now, guys, for this episode. So, of course, we managed to take down Lady Snowfall. So one of the traitors are down and dead, which is perfect. We are now winning heavily against Titus. It's only a matter of time before we capture the traitor and bring him down, which is perfect. And then we can punish all of the traitors justly, especially the Kinslayer. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, I really hope that you've enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and comment down below. Join the Discord as well, guys, if you haven't already. I'm sure you'll love it in there. And hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode of the Knights of Andalia.